I'm a little late on this week's garden update, but I have a really good reason for it. I was at the Taylor Swift concert that happened this weekend in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. I was there on night one, so Friday night, and it was awesome. So got to share in the release party for the Speak Now album, Taylor's version, and also got to see the world premiere of the I Can See You music video and see Taylor Lautner and Joey King and Presley Cash. The whole night was absolutely incredible. If you're a Swiftie, you know how magical that evening was. And in the words of one of my very good friends who was there at the concert also, I'm a changed woman. I feel like that pretty much sums it up. So I could really continue gushing about how amazing that concert was for a while. I can no longer listen to Long Live without bawling because it was just so impactful and so amazing. And just to watch Taylor perform and see her response to the audience is just to see pure joy and see someone who has absolutely found their purpose in life and is really living that out and is just really enjoying every minute of it. And it's honestly, it's contagious, and it made me want that. So anyway, that's a whole other side note, but I felt like it was important to acknowledge that what feels like an inflection point in my life, just getting to experience that. I feel really lucky to have gotten to share this experience with two incredibly strong, amazing women that I really admire, one of whom is my best friend and the other who I've known for a very long time. And I just want to say to both of you, thank you for being there and for just adding to the perfection and the magic of the weekend. It was awesome, and I'm so glad we got to experience that together. Love you both. With that, I will get back to the main focus, which is the garden back here. A couple updates. I'll start with the not so great ones. We unfortunately lost the cucumber plant. Its vine was doing really well, and then the terrible trio of hunters, which is Marshall, Mona, and Alexander, were hunting a chipmunk that I did not realize was in the garden with Alex and I, and he went after it and just severed that vine right in half. So I tried to tape it. I'll show you in a minute. I tried to tape it. It did not work. The rest of the vine died. So we'll kind of see what it does with that, if it tries to grow another vine or what happens. So, but I'll show you that. But then the other really cool thing that's happening is the hops plants are producing cones. So the nugget hops plant has some fully grown cones that we're just kind of waiting for those to ripen. And then it looks like the Cascade hops plant is just really starting on those cones. So we're making progress. We'll start on this side with the sunflowers. They are really going strong over here. I think this side is maybe getting a little bit more sun because they're really hardy on this side. And then the other side, they're a little bit shorter. Here's the sunflowers on the other side. So we've got a couple that are doing pretty well, but the others are still pretty small. The rosemary and oregano are doing great since we got rid of the basil. The hops plant, you can see it's doing awesome. Let's see if I can show you some of these beautiful cones here. So yeah, and they go all the way up. So that's really exciting. So we'll kind of wait for these to dry out, and then we'll be able to harvest them. All the tomato plants are also doing really well. They've got lots of little tomatoes on them. I was supposed to thin out the carrots at some point, but I did not. So we're probably gonna have smaller carrots, but look at how luscious they look. They're so beautiful. And then the basil is living its best life in there with a tomato plant, and that tomato plant is doing pretty good. So it's hanging in there. Then we've got our very important marigolds. The squash plant is just chilling. It keeps producing really beautiful flowers, but no fruit. So that's okay. It's pretty, so it can stay. And then we've got lettuce and chives going there. Got the lavender, which is also, hasn't flowered, but still looks pretty luscious. It's kind of bushing out, so that's good. And then the bush beans up here are looking a little sun scorched. The ones down here look a lot better. So I might pull the top ones down just so they're not getting as much sun. The mint is flowering, And they're actually really pretty. I had never seen mint flowers before, but they're kind of lovely looking. So that's kind of exciting. And the mint's still very eatable, so edible. Then we've got the beets and the garlic. I'm gonna pause on these for a minute. So you can see, you're starting to be able to see the tops of those beets. So those are gonna be ready pretty darn soon. And then the garlic, you can see we've got this one leaf that's dying here, that's kind of dried out. So I'm gonna wait until we have about 7 of those up, because each one of those is a layer around the garlic itself. So once we have about 7 layers, then I'll harvest that garlic. So it's on its way as well. More marigolds. Here's the sadness of the cucumber vine. And it had some little cukes that we're trying to grow. Sad guy back there. So you can see exactly where it happened, where I tried to tape it and was unsuccessful. But we've still got one going on this side. And then we've got all the radishes in there too, so it's fine. I harvested kale last week, and every time I harvest it, it just thrives afterwards. So that's pretty cool. I haven't watered today, so it's looking a little wilty. It's hot. So I'll water here in a minute, and then I'll water this evening as well. And there's the green pepper plant. So you can see we've got some little nubs forming in there. More of our kale. And then these pumpkins, they are very happy. And then if you see, peek back here, we've got a pumpkin flower that's coming along. Yay. All right, and then this hops plant. So this is the one that's kind of been vining like crazy. But you can see up here, let's see if I can reach. You can see right there, we've got some early little spots where those are going to be the cones, so they're going to keep growing. Here's some more, you can see a little better down here. So those are going to grow little cones. They're going to keep going there. A little bit shorter video this week. Again, not a ton going on in the garden, just wanted to give you a couple updates. Also, it's just hot out here, and so I don't want to be out here for very much longer, so I'm just going to wrap this up. As always, if you want to connect in the comments, you have any stories about your own garden, share with me how things are going, questions, thoughts in your mind, you can just comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay up to date on when I post new content. Happy gardening, friends!